Hi students, welcome to the digital class. Today as a part of this bridge course digital class in social studies, you are going to learn about continents, oceans and land. Let us have a discussion on this one. Now let's see the learning outcomes of this unit. Identifies continents and oceans on the map, explains major landforms of the earth, explains important features of various continents, explain different types of mountains. Students, when we see our earth, it is around 71% of the earth is covered with water. And as you know that one, when we see the what is the land, that one it is what we are living, that one it is only 29%. So when we see 71% of the water it is there, we call our planet as a blue planet. Why? Because of the maximum it is covered with the water only. Now let's see about the continents. On the globe, continents are the easiest things to spot, as there are 7 continents and 5 oceans on our planet. The continents are the huge land masses that are separated by the waters of the ocean. Means whatever the land we are living, that one is the part of the continent. Now let us have a discussion on that one. When we see about the continent, we have 7 continents: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, Australia. These are the 7 continents which are separated by the waters. The continents have the different kinds of the weather, landscapes and even the population. For instance, if we see Antarctica is icy and has a very little plant and animal life. It is quite different from the other planets. It is. And even if we see Africa, though tends of be very warm and has a great variety of plant and animals. Like this one, we have the variations in one continent to other continent. Most of the continents are also divided into the political units. Means for the administration purpose, it is divided into the units which we are calling it as countries. Here you can see this is the African continent. We have the different type of the countries are there. Here you can observe in the map. So like this one, the political divisions are there. Now let's see about the continent Asia. Asia is located here. You can see in the world map, this is the Asia. And location wise, if we see here in the globe, you can observe that when it is a equator is there and prime meridian is there. Means we can divide this one into 4 halves. So here whatever the part that when it is above equator, this one we call it as a northern hemisphere, and which is towards down, that one it is there, which we call it as a southern one. It is means nothing but whatever the north side one it is a northern hemisphere and the southern one is a southern hemisphere. In the same way, towards the right side of the prime meridian we have the eastern hemisphere, and towards the left side if we see, this one is the western hemisphere it is. So if we see Asian continent, that one it is mostly it is in the northern hemisphere, and you can see here the boundaries of this continent. We have towards the north we have Arctic Ocean, and we have the Pacific Ocean towards the east side, and the Indian Ocean towards the south, and the Europe is there towards the west side it is. So these are the boundaries what we can take for the ASEAN continent it is. So politically we have divided. Asia is the largest continent in the size, and it has a biggest area and the world's biggest population. Means here it is on the earth the people are there. Most of the people are living on the ASEAN continent. And if we see the specification of our continent, Mount Everest, which is the highest peak in the world. You can see in the map here, you can observe that when it is where the Mount Everest it is there, which is not the part of India, it is a part of the Nepal, that one it is there. So this is one of the feature that one it is there in the ASEAN continent. And of all the continents, Asia has the highest mountain ranges with almost more than 50 highest peaks in the Asia. And if we take the Mount K2, that one it is the second highest peak in the Karakoram range, and it is the highest peak in the India also. And if we see one another feature, the Tibetan Plateau, here it is you can see the locator of this, what are the Tibetan Plateau it is there, just towards the north side of the India, which is the highest plateau in the world, and this is also called the roof of the world it is. So it is a birthplace of many glaciers it is. And we can see the deepest point on the land surface, that one it is the Dead Sea also, that one it is there. Here it is on the land, Dead Sea, that one it is there between the Jordan and this Israel it is there, that one the deepest point on the land surface it is. Now let us see about the Africa. Here if you see the location of this one, it is almost it is spreaded in the all the hemisphere, means towards the north side it is there, and south it is there, towards east and as well as towards the west also it is there. So this is the continent which is having the most of the features, that one it is. In the world map you can see that this is the African continent. Students, in the map pointing you have to mark like this one. Whenever it is asked about the map pointing, yes, you have to locate this wherever it is there. That is what please note this one. So this, what are the continent Africa, that when it is bounded towards North Mediterranean Sea it is there, and here just towards the north side we can observe this one, and northeast we have the Suez Canal, that one it is there, and east we have the Indian Ocean, and the west Atlantic Ocean it is there, and towards the south also the Atlantic Ocean only it is covering. There are 54 countries on this continent, means a total Africa if you see that one it is so many small to big countries that where we can see in this one. It is a physical feature of this continent, means here if you observe this, what are the central part, means what are the equator part, that one it is there, which is what are the dark greenery, that one it is there. This is mostly it is occupied with the forest region it is there. So however you are going towards the north and towards the south side, we can find out the grasslands and the arid region, means where the rainfall, that one it is very less, that one it is there. And extreme towards the north side if you see, whereas we can see huge desert, that one it is there, that one it is a Sahara desert we can see here it is there. More than half of the continent is covered by the grasslands. Why? Because if you see the central part, whatever it is there, that is only the forest region it is there, and this what are the light greenery, that one it is towards the north side and as well as towards the south side, that one it is the grassland, that one it is there. Means here on these grasslands we can't find out very big trees. And one another important feature of this one, it is this what are the North Africa is dominated by the vast Sahara desert. You know the desert? Desert where the rainfall is very scanty, no rainfall, and what are the trees are there also, that one it is very less. And we can see the sheep of the desert, that one it is a camel, that one it is there, very important animal in this region. And in Africa you will find out some largest mammals on this planet. Among them are the largest land mammal, African elephant. This is one of the largest one on the earth, that one it is. And the tallest mammal, the giraffe also we can see in this continent. And the fastest one, the cheetah, that also that one is present in the forests of African continent. Now let us see about the North America. As we see when in the map, as you know that when it is in the northern hemisphere, and towards the western side, that one it is there. So this is the North American continent, where you can observe that when it is above equator it is there. So this is the North American one, which in the yellow colored one you can see that one it is which is the biggest continent. So here if you see whatever the boundaries of this one, we have towards the north side Arctic Circle is there. Arctic Circle it is on the globe, you can see in the small this one. South side we have the South America continent it is there, and the Pacific Ocean it is there towards the west side, and Atlantic Ocean is there towards the east side it is there. These are the boundaries of this continent, and there are about some 23 countries in total in this North America. The city with the largest population in America, that when it is we can see the Mexican city. Mexico, the most populous country in the United States, whereas you can observe this is the Mexico region it is below United States of America. The longest river in North America is the Mississippi-Missouri river system. This is one of the important river for the North American continent. Lake Superior is the largest freshwater lake in the world. America, you can see here this one it is there. So this region, it is almost, it is contains this, what are the 5 Great Lakes are there in this region. Now let us see about the South America. So this is a place where we can see this, what are the South America, which is in the world map you can identify here. And location wise, if you see what you observed here, here we see that one, it is this continent, it is there, most of the part is there, it is towards the southern hemisphere, and little bit part you can see that one, it is in the northern hemisphere, it is there, and here it is a total in the western hemisphere only, because of towards the prime meridian, whatever it is there, which is the 0 degree longitude, and towards west side this continent is there. South America is the 4th largest continent in the size and the 5th largest when we consider the population. If we see the special features of this continent, it is the longest river, Amazon, that one it is there. The Amazon is not only the 2nd longest river in the world after the Nile. Nile river is the longest one in the African continent, it is which will flow through the Sahara Desert and through the Egypt, it is in this continent, South America. But this Amazon also carries more water, means volume wise if we see, it is almost what are the 10 biggest rivers water it is there, that total water it is there with the Amazon river. So very important for the South American agriculture it is. And we see Atacama Desert is the driest place in the South America, which is in the Chile. This is the driest part, that one it is, means what are the rainfall is quite scanty it is, and quite vast desert we can see in this continent. Angel waterfalls, which is world's highest waterfall that we can see in this continent, which is a quite famous one it is. And the Andes, that are the world's longest mountain ranges, we can see in the South American continent. Now let us see about the Antarctica. So here you can see this total, what at the bottom, that one it is there. This is the Antarctica. Means on a globe, if you see, it is just like on the what at the bottom, that one it is here. We can find out this one it is like a ball when you take, it is on bottom side if you see. So here if you find out this, what are the location, that one it is there in the southern hemisphere it is there, but which is spreaded towards the east and as well as the west side also it is there. So it is the 5th largest continent of our planet, and Antarctica, the special feature of this one it is there is no population in this continent. Why? Because of the climatical conditions. So here it is we can see the almost continent it is there, land is covered by a thick layer of ice, means total ice it is covered on this continent. Why? Because of sun rays are there, that one will not directly fall on this continent. So that is what here it is totally covered with the ice, that one it is there, and the icy desert with a very scanty, very little bit rainfall we can see here it is. Throughout the year ice will be there, and whatever the rainfall very less it will be there, and throughout the year the wind will be there. The windest continent on the world, windest place on the world, that one it is. This whatever the windiest means, here it is we can see lot of wind with a speed of above 150 kilometers per hour it is. More than 90% of the world's ice, means what are the total ice, that one if you see, means like Himalayas and other what are the high mountains are there, like that one when we compare 90%, whereas it is in the this continent only it is, and 90% of the fresh water, that when it is there in this continent only, means what are the water we are drinking. So here it is that what are the maximum it is there available in this Antarctica only, but it is not suitable to live. Why? Because of this what are the harsh type of the climate it is there. Now let us see about the Europe continent. This is the location of Europe, that one you can see in this region it is which is towards the northern side, that one it is. When you examine that one it is in this what are the globe, that one it is almost it is in the northern hemisphere, and most of the part, that one it is there towards the east side it is there, means eastern hemisphere it is. So it is completely in the northern, and mainly that one it is the eastern one it is there. So here it is when you examine the boundaries of this continent, it is towards the north side we have the Arctic Ocean, it is, and towards the west side Atlantic Ocean you can see, and towards the east side we have the ASEAN continent only, that one it is, and towards the south side we have the Mediterranean Sea, that one it is, and even of course the African continent also, that one it is located towards the south side of that one, but majorly the boundary is with the Mediterranean Sea only, that one we can see in this. So many countries in Europe, that one it is in the Central Europe, do not have access to an ocean. Means whereas here you can see this, whatever the countries that when it is there in the central part, it is this total region, it is, they don't have the ocean, means share is with the ocean, it is there, we call it as a landlocked one, it is there. So they don't have any access to the ocean and share national boundaries with only with the other countries. So that one we can see in this region. Now let us see about the Australia continent. In the map you can see this, what are the smallest one, that one it is there, here it is the Australia continent, it is. So here it is in the globe, if you examine, this is towards the southern side, it is in the southern hemisphere, it is. And Australia, the smallest continent and one of the largest countries on the earth, which is lying between the Pacific and Indian Oceans in the southern hemisphere. Towards the eastern side we can see this one. And the special feature of this one, if you examine, 2/3 part of the Australia is covered with the plateau, which is known as a Western Plateau, where rainfall is very scanty, and even the deserts also have developed that one. Victoria Desert, that is one of the important desert we can see in this one. Mount Kosciuszko is the highest peak in the Australia. And major rivers, if you see in this continent, are the river Murray and the river Darling, that one it is. And one of the important feature of this continent is we can see the kangaroos. Kangaroos are the mammals that carry their young in their pouches. Means here it is on the stomach, one pouch type, it is a natural one will be there. So young means what are the babies, that one it is there, that one will carry in this one. Students, now after the continents, let us see about the oceans. As already we have studied that one, it is oceans are the vast parts that one it is covered on this earth, that one. So here it is geologists have divided the body of waters on the earth into 5 oceans. They are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, Arctic Ocean. So these are the 5 oceans that one we can see. Now let's see that where these things are located on the map. Now let's see the Pacific. You see both the sides we have the Pacific Ocean. It is. How this it is possible? As you know that one it is whatever the globe that one is spherical shape, it is a round. So Pacific Ocean it is there, that one it is a connected one it is. So here it is not separated one. What are the towards the west side and east side, that is the single one it is there. And we have another ocean, that one it is a Atlantic Ocean. This is the Atlantic Ocean, what you can see here. It is between the North America and Africa, Europe, between this one we can see this Atlantic Ocean. And the Indian Ocean. This is the part where the Indian Ocean it is there. You can see next to the Southern Ocean, which is also we are Arctic, what are the boundary, that one it is there. Here it is and we have the Arctic Ocean. Here you can see this, what is the Pacific Ocean, which is biggest ocean in the world, which is covering about 30% of the earth surface it is there. You see here, if you examine this one, this is the total region it is. Earlier what is the map we have seen? We have seen towards the east side and west side, but when we consider the globe like this one, here this is a total what is the Pacific Ocean it is there. So about 30% of the land it is covered by Pacific Ocean it is there. The Atlantic Ocean, which is between these what are the South America, Africa, and between North America and Europe it is there, which is the second biggest ocean in the world. Like what are the Atlantic Ocean is half the size of this what are the Pacific Ocean it is there. Means here it is a total, if you see, about 20% of the earth surface is covered by this whatever the Atlantic Ocean only it is there. The Indian Ocean, you can find out this what are the region towards south side of the India and as well as towards the east side of the African and the west side of the Australian continent it is. So, Indian Ocean is located between Africa and Asia. The northern Indian Ocean means towards the north side of the Indian Ocean is very important for the transport route it is. Means so many ships that when it is there, that one will go through this region it is. And mainly for the what are the crude oil that like petrol, diesel that one it is there, that one will be taken over from here, from this what are the Gulf that one it is there, and which it is connect between these what are the east and west it is there. Now let us see about the Southern Ocean, which is located around the South Pole that one it is there. So whatever the Antarctic Circle it is there, for that one this one it is surrounded it is. So total whatever the Southern Ocean it is there, as you see that when it is towards southern hemisphere, and which it is surrounded this Antarctica continent it is. Now let us say towards the north side, this is the what the Arctic Ocean it is, and which is located totally the North Pole that one it is there. Ocean it is there, it is totally with the ice only that one it is covered, and here we can see the polar bears are there, that one it is living on this one it is. Now students, let us see about the importance of these oceans it is there. Very good resources are there these oceans. Why? Because of a lot of fish that one it is available, and as well as petroleum like that things are available. And internationally it is very important. Why? Because of the sea route is very important for the transport purpose. And many people who lived in the coastal areas are depend on oceans because of they are depend on the fishing it is. And there are many different sources, like we can see petrol it is there, mineral oil it is there, salt, magnesium, manganese, and which are obtained from this ocean it is there. And even nowadays the electricity also generated with the help of these tides that one it is there in that one, tidal energy what we call it as. And of course still the research is going on that one. And so like this one it is sees the one of the resource center for the human beings it is. But one of the important thing that when it is pollution of the ocean also it is taking place so much. Why? Because of the industrial waste and agriculture one it is there, that one it is they are sending into through the rivers it is coming into this one, and marine aquatic animals are there, that one it is being affected with this one it is there. So what are the pesticides and these all the things are they are using, that one it is making harm. Now students, let us see the landform. Here it is, when you see outside we have so many things that when we see on this earth it is. Do you feel that when it is the earth totally is the same? No, it's not the same it is. We see many things that when it is there on the earth it is there. People have shaped the world today, whereas we considered we are constructing the buildings and we are staying very safely on this earth it is. Here it is, if you see the special features of this what are the landform that one it is. In fact, temperature, wind and rain do this all the time, as a result the creating the landforms it is. The size and the shape of the surface of the earth varies from place to place, and such variations in the lithosphere is known as landforms, different type of the forms of the land what we are having it is. Humans have been living on various landforms since the ages, and they have adapted to live on what are the landform that one it is there. Now let us see about this one. We have the three major landforms. That one it is mountains, where we can see the huge mountain this one, and the plateaus. The plateau means which is a little bit lesser than this what are the mountains it is there, and the plains that one it is there. Now let us have a detail on this one. So here it is we can compare this one it is. This is the what are the plain. That one it is in the word itself meaning you can say that one it is like a plane. This is what are the surface is the smooth one it is, and a little bit above this one it is we are calling it as like a plateau one it is there, and of course little bit more than that one it is we are calling it as a mountain it is. So which is between this what are the mountains and what are the plateau, that one we are calling it as a hills. Hills are lesser than this what are the mountains it is there. Natural process such as weathering, water, elevation, sinking and erosion. These all the things are there, that one it is shaping our earth. It is means here it is a lot of movements are taking place. It doesn't really happen overnight. Means what are the shape of the Himalayas, or else what are the plateaus that one we see, it is not happened in one day or 1 month. It is it took some thousands of years it is to bring this shape, and this shape is not the permanent one, it is going on changing. Whatever the landforms are there, that one it is going on changing. It is what are the landforms, that one it is there by the two processes we can see it is. One is internal process and the external process. Internal process means like this, you see in this what are the picture, that one it is what are the volcanic one, volcanic eruption it is there. So volcanic eruption, that one it is changing the landform, and if you see towards this one where we can see the earthquake it is there. So earthquake also, that one it is changing the landform, and as well as some whatever the external process is there, like what are the water and wind, and as well as the human interference, that one it is changing this one. A mountain is any landmass that is higher and steeper than a hill. A hill is a landform that extend above the surrounding terrain. So here you can see this is the mountain, what you can see it is the huge one and the higher one, that one. The mountains are considered higher than the surrounding land, and some are higher than the clouds. Some mountains have permanent slow moving rivers of ice, which is known as glaciers. Glaciers are very important for the rivers it is. And some mountains are found beneath the sea, means even in the sea also, whereas we can find out the what are the mountains are there. In the Pacific Ocean we can find out like this one, so many are there. So many mountains are there which are dipped in this Pacific Ocean. And we can see because of the harsh climate and the difficulty in growing the crops, very few people will live. Why? Because of the mountains are not suitable for the living it is. Mountains are sometimes in lines known as ranges, which is a continue. One mountain, after that one another mountain. And many mountain system consist of a series of parallel ranges for hundreds of kilometers it is. We can take the example of what are the Himalayan ranges it is there. There are the three type of the mountains we can see, that one it is there, whereas we can see what are the block mountain it is there, and the volcanic mountain, that one it is there, means which is whereas a volcanic eruption, that one will take place it is. And the block mountains are there which is formed due to the fault, means whatever the weak, wherever the weak point of the earth, that one it is there, that one it is formed. And now let us say about the plateaus that are an elevated flat, means when you compare to the surface, this one it is little bit high elevated one, and a flat topped table land, and can have one or more sloping edges. Their height may be vary from a few hundreds to several thousand meters it is. Now we can see the example Deccan Plateau, where we are living, Telangana, that one it is there, on the Deccan Plateau it is there, whereas we have the black soil Deccan Plateau we can see here. Just like a mountains, plateaus can be young or old. The Deccan Plateau in the India is one of the oldest plateau in the world, and the plateaus are very rich in minerals, and many mines are there, that one in these plateaus. Wherever in the world we see the plateaus, that one it is very rich for the minerals. Lava plateaus are very rich in black soil. As already I said, that one is a Deccan Plateau is a lava soil it is there, and are an excellent place to cultivate the crops. These are because of the availability of very good mineral wealth, that one it is there in this one. Plains are the large stretches of the land and are not higher than 200 meters above the sea level. Here it is a sea level is considered for everything it is, whether it is for the mountains, plains, plateaus, whatever it is there, it is measured on the basis of the what are the height above the sea level it is. So some plains are flat, and some might be slight rolling and undulating it is. Plains are formed by the erosion of mountains by the rivers it is. When we see what are the water flow, that one it is there, that one will take out what are the soil, that one it is there. When you observe the rainwater, it will carry the top soil, that one it is there, which we call it as a erosion it is there. So like that one, some mountains are eroded with this, what are the rivers, that one it is there, and these what are the plains are formed. We can see what are the Gangetic plain in India is the example for that. Plains are very fertile, and transport and agriculture is very easy, so that they are most populated regions in the world. In the world, wherever you see, the development is there on the plains only, and what are the ancient civilizations also developed on this region only. Students, now let us see the assessment. It is what we have learnt from that one. Few questions, let us see this one. How many continents are there on the earth? Name them. Name 5 oceans. Mark the oceans and continents in the outline map. Name the major landforms. Classify the different types of mountains. Students, with this one, we end this session. Hope you enjoyed the lesson well. We will meet you.